Good morning, Wayward Walker here with the Wayward Woofer. And we are in Quabog Plantation, also known as West Brookfield. And we are going to hike up this old road here. Now, this is one of the rare occasions that I have actually done some research before I actually go for the hike. So anyway, this is right off a Long Hill Road in West Brookfield. And I think this is Old Long Hill Road. Not been able to 100% confirm it because none of the old maps have it any name on the road that show the road. And why is this important? Well, because I've been reading a lot about the history of this area, West Brookfield, the Quabog Plantation, which it was originally called. It was settled in, I think, 1660, somewhere around there. And during the King Philip's War, the settlement was destroyed. People moved away, and then it was resettled sometime later. That was like 1675, I think, when it was abandoned. And as part of that, I knew this anyway, but the Bay Path, which was an old Indian trail that went from, it went, depending on who you listen to, who you read, but basically connected Boston to Springfield. And it went through this area. And according to one of the sources, I'll talk more about the sources and everything later, but according to one of them, it went up and followed Old Long Hill Road in West Brookfield. And I believe, looking at the maps and comparing things, I think this is actually the old Bay Path. And the old Bay Path was used by, there we go. There's a tree, huh? Interesting. The old Bay Path was, there's several Indian trails in the neighborhood. And there is some difference of opinion on which one was the Bay Path, which one was the Nipmuc, which one was this, which one was that. But it seems that they're kind of an agreement when I'm reading this was actually part of the Bay Path. Now that was made, all these trails were made when the area first began to be settled, and some earlier. The Native Americans would travel from one spot to another between villages and stuff. So they would have a little wall over here. So they made these trails. And originally they were just little single track trails, and eventually, because they were already kind of worn down and ready to go, the first settlers would follow along them and eventually make them a little wider as history and travel technology progressed from just being on feet, just being on foot, to horses, to wagons, and even automobiles. So a lot of these trails are now paved over, are major, I don't know if they're major highways, but well, it could be, modern highways, modern routes. There's very few sections that are more or less original. You know, obviously this section here was used by vehicles at one time. Another section that I went to the other day, I will be going back to, which is kind of similar to this. There's an old mill site there. Wait a minute, hold on, don't go too far. I see Jack's in one of those boots. I'm Just looked like a foundation, but I don't think it was. Anyway, so there are some spots where you can still actually get out in the woods. So of course I'm hoping to see what I can see. Maybe come across house foundation, Indian, Native American stone landscape. Who knows? But that's where we are. And we are walking down this nice old road. So I will turn you off, and when I see something, I'll put you back on. Beautiful day. This area here, it's probably, I'm pretty sure it was a lot of this land around here was farmed. A lot of it was pasture land, not necessarily for crops. What I've been reading, when it was first settled, there was crops, there was everything, because they had to sustain themselves, original settlers. The actual village where Quabog was is, of course, long gone. There is a historic district in West Brookfield on the hill that it was settled. Unfortunately, a lot of it is on private land, and I suppose you can get permission to go there, but there's not a whole lot left from what my understanding is. All right, let me turn you off for a while, and we will be back. And so I'll just talk a little bit about the Bay Path. As I said, I've been reading a lot of local history, and I came across a book called Along the Bay Path. It was written in 1919 when most of it could still be seen in its mostly original condition. As I said, like something like this, it would have been a narrow trail and then gradually widened. If you look at this, it is a country the standard size for roads, official roads. And then I've been reading another history of, it's the history of North Brookfield, but it also concerns a lot of the other Brookfields. They all started in one Brookfield. And in this particular history was written, I think, in 1879. But I learned something else about that, because when I started, I've come across a lot of these, and they're all written around, all these town histories were written around the same time. Evidently, there was some kind of a presidential suggestion, would be a good way to put it, from General Grant, President Grant, that in order to help commemorate, there we go, the 100th anniversary of the centennial of the country, we kind of asked all towns to write up histories. So I learned that. But anyway, so I've also been reading the one that's titled History of North Brookfield, and that talks about the various Indian paths that go through here. And the other one I'm reading is a history of the Quabog Plantation. And that's a book I've had since 1964 when it was written. It's been in the family. And I've tried to read it when I was younger several times. And basically just was bored out of my mind. But now I started reading it again. And it's much more interesting because I know more about the history, what the author's talking about. And he's the one that suggests that the Bay Path book is not correct, or 100% correct. So, as I said, there's an argument there. Unfortunately, I have to lean towards the 1964 book because it was written by my uncle, who is no longer here, unfortunately, but he was very big in history of North Brookfield and some archaeology and the like. So we are coming into a definitely different kind of area here, which is a pine forest. Looks like we're going to be heading up a hill. This is a long hill. Imagine that, huh? Ooh, cement culvert pipe there. So far, I haven't really seen anything. That wall kind of disappeared that we saw. So we're going to keep heading up. It's a beautiful day. And head up this road. And it should come out, if I'm correct, on the other side of Long Hill, or actually almost at the top of Long Hill, is another section of this wildlife preserve area, which is on Long Hill Road in Brookfield, which in the middle is called something else. We're going to go through Warren, and we weren't, actually Jack and I walked up there yesterday. I did take some video. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it or not. But that wasn't there much to see, other than that it was an old farm, and there were several old pastures up there with walls surrounding them. But unfortunately, it had also been logged extensively. So chances are anything that may have been there would be a lot more difficult to find, and especially since all the undergrowth is growing. But anyway, we are heading north through the pines, and we'll keep going, see where it takes us. We'll be back. We've got a little stone row here. Doesn't cross. There's a short way. Yeah. Large stones. I'm going to assume it's continuing, it's kind of buried right there. I don't think it was a wall. Or a stone row. It's not very even. Looking over there, there's a field. Old field over there, so it's probably a farm wall. As I said, it's rather large. Trying to look and see if there's anything that might indicate that it's of Native American origin. There's another field here. But after going through those fields we went through yesterday, if there's no trail, we aren't going to just hike through them, because both Jack and I were covered with ticks yesterday when we got out of there. I probably pulled, between the two of us, probably 40 ticks. Come on. And it looks like the wall is there, so I think it was probably maybe Native Americans built it. I don't know. They would build stone rows along some of their paths, just to kind of, it's the direction kind of markers, I suppose. They weren't all ceremonial, but a lot of them were. But still continued down and out of the pine forest and back to the old pasture land, I believe, anyway. Yeah, we're just going to keep going. Not sure how far this goes till we're going to reach that brook. Actually, as I was saying, I don't know if I finished it, but I was coming down the other way. on the old little logging road through there. Not that old, but it was a logging road. And it came down to a stream, which you get down to, looked on the other side and could see an old road. So it must have been something near the, might have been a bridge or just, it's not a large river or anything, it's a stream. So they could have just forded it without, it wasn't that deep. But I wasn't going to ford it yesterday because it was deep enough. So, and then looking at my All Trails map, I saw this trail, which basically was opposite us. So I'm assuming it's all the same road. And that's when I started putting it together that possibly this was the old bay path. So I'm not 100% sure, but 90. All right, I'll keep going. Nice trail to walk on. I'm just gonna keep heading this way. We are headed east, I believe. And I'll be back as soon as we come across something. Okay, we're only about 50 feet from where we were, and there is another stone row. Again, doesn't look like a boundary wall or any kind of farm wall. So I'm not sure what it's here for. It stops right there. Does not continue, and it goes up a little ways, but not that far. Nothing over there. Nothing in there. Not sure what we've come across here. The thing I noticed yesterday, and I've seen some very large trees here. Most of these are pines, but where we were yesterday, there was a lot of old growth timber. I don't know when it was cut, but there were some very large stumps. And they looked like maybe oak trees or something. I'm not, couldn't tell, and I couldn't tell how long ago they were cut. They were huge. All right, keep looking, keep scanning, see what we come across. We'll be back. Here we've got another small stone row. This area does not look like it had been really farmed, and it's certainly not improved over there. A little bit over here. Again, I think it was probably pasture land, if that. But I wouldn't say that's a stone wall. It was serving any farming purpose anyway. Again, who knows? One thing I am noticing about this road is there's no, okay, what am I thinking of? Edges. It's not worn down on the side like some would see. You can tell we're really well used. And there's no other trees down over here in this section. I'm not seeing any, like I said, I'm not really any stone walls that would have signified that it was being used for transporting livestock, although they really wouldn't have needed to be if there was no farms, if this was not farmland. But it does appear to have been a well-used road. And you can tell, also I've read and heard, just by whether it's soft or hard. This is fairly hard from surface, which means it's packed down. And I think we're coming up to that brook. So I'm seeing a really large field going up the hill over here. The Bleaves, where we were yesterday, and we do have a wall here. cuts. That's what I'm thinking of. Where roads are cut through and worn down and maintained. Alright, so there's another wall there. Could be the same one. But now I know, assuming this is where we were yesterday, yep. So I know that this wall here probably connected to this wall on the other side. It goes up the hill. There's probably at least 4 different pasture fields, pastures up there that have walls surrounding them, marking them. So, is this where we were yesterday, Jack? Yes. We've come to the end of the road this way. We're going to take a look around. See if I can see. It doesn't look like there was any formal bridge that was built. I can't see if there was any dark to see if there was like a, what I always call a colonial bridge. It's also wider probably now than it was because you see it's been dammed up. We're not going through there. It's too deep for me. But we came up there, down this hill, here from that side, yesterday. And there's several distinct pastures up there. So this one could have gone across what it was like at the time. But we're going to go back up here. I didn't see any side trails. And there's another entrance to this area a little further down the road. And that's where we were able to start. But there's a nice parking area, but there's no trailhead. So I don't know. And I wasn't about to go to the field, not a big field here, but I wasn't ready to go through that because I was going to pull 40 ticks off us again. Alright, so let's head back up here. Alright, so there's a cross wall kind of thing. Looks like in very good shape. Pretty old. Don't know when the farm up there was abandoned. I don't think that other than logging, I don't think anything's been done up there. But it's also not, I don't think it's been that long. There's not a lot underneath it. Now I'm looking over there. This could be a very large open area. And we're not far from the Quabog River, but I don't think it comes over this far. Because I didn't see it yesterday when we were up on that hill. It was pretty high. This is still a wall. It could be a boundary wall or marking a field. Hard to say. Alright, I'm going to keep looking. Looks like there could be either a pond or a whole swamp over there. Let's see if we can find a way over there. We'll be back. Alright, we just come across something interesting. Come on, Jack. We're going to go in here. Come on. Come. Well, we can't see it just yet, but Jack doesn't want to come in here. He's not liking the bushwhacking lately. He's okay. You see some stacked stones right here. Come on. We're not going in far. Come. Come here, Jack. Oh, come across the foundation. It was a barn. Very large. The back wall there is at least 6 feet. Come on. up here. There must have been some kind of a lip there, or a shelf kind of thing. Get back this way, Jack. Come on, we're not going far. So, it's a pretty good size. This is the bank barn. So this was farmland. Come on, this way. I'll go down here. Come. Come on. Find a way to tie him up. Alright, so there's a wall that goes down here. This one. Come on, this way. For a house foundation. I'm not going too far. Come. Jack, what's the matter? Come on. Just a little ways. You know, well, you look at this kind of stuff. All right, so it looks like there's an opening, an opening down there, but I don't see a house. I don't know how there was a kind of a rule of thumb as to how far the house would be from the barn usually. Kind of let's go this way. Unwritten rule or something like that, because you're reading the book on the Quabog Plantation. There were a lot of rules in the 1600s for stuff like that. So anyway, one foundation anyway. Very good sized barn. All right, let's go up the hill. Back to the trail. Go back to the road. Or you know something's down here that you're going to show me. Teach them how to seek out stone walls and foundations, stuff. They ain't working too well. This is a pretty good sized barn, so looks of it. Well, I have to kind of assume this was pasture land, because it certainly wasn't plowed very often. If it's farmland, cropland. All right, go back up this way. Come on, back to the road. See if there's anything up here. See if there's anything on the other side. Come on. Come on. All right, we'll be back. Okay, found the house foundation. Right here. Basic square. The barn foundation is just right over there in front of us. This way, Jack. Come on, go around. Another large tree in the middle of this foundation. So if I knew how old that tree was, I would know when this house was last here. I see a chimney stack. Unless it was over there in the corner. I don't think so. Not seeing a well. So, well, the house and the barn. I haven't found too much stuff with the last few hikes we've gone. Of abandoned type things. Alright, so back on the road. Keep our eyes over here a little more. Let's see why we missed that. Alright, so we're going to continue. Just to know how old that foundation is. I don't know if there's a way you could actually date them. The other way is like one way with that one. If you knew how old that tree was, it would give you an idea. Or if you metal detected it, found some relics, I suppose. One way. But I don't know of anything. Maybe carbon dating if you found some old wood or something. I don't know. Alright. I'm going to shut you off. And we'll continue walking. See, that's what happens, Jack, when you eat those grass things. Alright, just a little ways further down. And a much more substantial wall that's going off into the distance. Not seeing any foundation. For some reason, Jack doesn't really want to be in here. You probably know something that I don't. But this is actually on the way in. It's on this wall. I thought it was just a small stone row. See over there on the other side of the down tree. So, you know, obviously we know it was found because of the house and the barn. Used as used as pastures. It would have been sheep, possibly cows, or dairy farms in the area. All right, so we're going to keep going. Now we know there's stuff in here. We're going to look a little harder on the way out. See if we catch anything. We'll be back. Okay, Jack has decided he wants to go up in this field. If he's leaving me, it's because he wants to eat this grass. And we'll go see what we got here. And that looks like something. Yes, get in there. There's a wall kind of going through the woods back there. I'll go back on the way out. See, check out that hole. That could be a foundation. I don't know. Thought it was a pasture as well. There's a pasture tree. Probably. Yeah, kind of yucky in here, Jack. All right, let's go back. I'll look in there though, okay? I really can't complain about Jack. He's usually pretty good. Sometimes he tends to stop pulling. But for the most part, he knows when he's tired, he sits down and rests. And when he doesn't want to go somewhere, he just doesn't go. All right, let's go see if you can get up here, Jack. Come here. It's just a pile of junk. I'm not thinking that was a foundation. All right, let's go back. Come on. All right, we're gonna go back to the road and keep heading on out. Okay, we're in that little pine forest. I decided this looks like it could have been an old road, or a cart path or something. Could be a little stream over here. I'm just thinking, it's pretty interesting that we haven't really come across any side trails, little farm roads, anywhere in this area. Because that's the road up there, they're over there. So I'm just kind of curious about that. But there's a little slower rocks and stones up here. There's a little brook that's going through here. What is this over here? This little green thing. Could be a Native American artifact. Not just a leaf. It looks like a ball. I'm seeing no evidence of people spending much time over there. No trash. The tire tracks. I think I saw one shotgun shell. Beautiful spot. I think they allow hunting. Usually do in the wildlife management areas. Yeah. All right. Anyway, keep walking. Almost to the end, I think. Not sure if we're going to go anywhere else today. Probably not. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's Friday, so we got 3 days off. So we'll probably do some more hikes. We'll see how things go. All right, we'll be back. Hey, you're watching my weird dog right now. This is what he does. Usually, where he does that, there's evidence that a deer was there. So I don't know if he's trying to get, there he goes again. He's trying to get the deer scent on him, or he's sent on the deer scent. I don't know what he's doing, but he's crazy. I'm starting to wonder about him. Okay, shake off. Shake all the dirt off you. There he is. He listens. Better than my kids ever did. Oh, just kidding. Still listening. All right, so I'm headed back up this part of the hill to the road, the big road, the real road, front road. I don't know. I'll be back. All right, we're almost back to the truck. About 2 miles. Now, I just started thinking, this is the old Bay Path. I'm not sure if I call that the old post road, although the old post road and the old Bay Path in some areas follow the same route. So if I said that in the beginning and you're all confused, you can be unconfused now. This is, I believe, to be the old Bay Path. All right, I'm back. Just inhaled some pollen. A lot of pollen. We had some rain earlier this week, but not enough. Still dry. But anyway, we're almost back to the truck. So I'm going to be signing off. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And remember, get out, explore around you. You don't know what you're going to find. You may have an old Bay Path or equivalent in your own backyard. You never know. So, until next time, this is the Wayward Walker and the Wayward Woofer saying we'll see you next time. Maybe we'll see you out in the woods somewhere. All right, back just real quick. Jack just found a old culvert right there. And let's see what comes out on the other side. Come here, Jack. Yep, right here. Come here, just a minute. Oh, it was an old. Well, this is the proper road. All right. So, once again, we see something else. Jack making me turn around thing. We'll be back if we find anything else. Otherwise, it's all for a great holiday weekend, and it'll be over by the time you see this, but a great summer. How's that?